Hey everyone, Jamie Hernandez here, founder of Breakthrough Yoga Coaching Method, helping you bridge the gap between your spiritual practice and your business. So we've been talking about the power of prayer and the power of innocence. And one of the things we've been talking about is one of the first temples of prayer is your body. So today I wanted to actually give you a guided practice of entering the body temple, entering the sacred body temple. And as I do that, I also want to check my sound because I'm hooked up to a mic. So we'll see if it's actually working. Let's see here. Okay, good. So it's working. All right, so we're going to start standing. And since we're practicing entering the body temple or entering in that metaphor, the first thing we want to do is start to recognize that we are arriving. So we start to signal to the body somehow that, okay, I'm actually entering this physical temple. And one of the very easiest places to do that is just to start with the feet. Taking a breath in, taking a breath out, and really start to feel as you press the feet down that they're not stomping down. They're actually sinking into the ground. So take this moment to soften your ankles, soften your knees, and you start to give your body the signal that you're here. Because many times we can be having a body, but we're not necessarily in the body. And we haven't really entered the body from a place of sacredness. So if you go to a temple, if you go to a church, very often it's kind of like this threshold and this container to say, okay, I'm entering a sacred space. And that sacred space doesn't necessarily mean once you enter, all of a sudden you're holy. All of a sudden, everything that you are dealing with goes away. So we want to start to arrive in the body and also notice how we're arriving. Are we arriving with impatience? Are we arriving kind of like can't focus and concentrate? Are we arriving, from the physical body where we're maybe feeling stiff or feeling pretty good? Maybe we're entering from the mind that's really busy. Or maybe we're entering from this emotional place. So how are we arriving? So just close your eyes for a second. And just, how am I arriving and where am I arriving from? Is it something I'm really feeling in the body? Something really kind of, my mind is sort of a little bit scattered all over the place in the future and the past. Or is there some emotional resonance, energy happening? Because sacredness, if you were to look up that word, is what we deem holy. So as you start to observe how you're arriving, start to allow yourself to approach it from a place of tenderness. So what would that look like in the body? What would that momentum, what would your stance be like if you're starting to approach and enter your body temple from this place of curiosity? Like, oh, okay, this is what's here right now. So what we deem holy, so entering the temple, it is already holy. It is already sacred. And so what we deem holy, what we deem sacred, we can embody that by coming in from this place of, okay. So we breathe in. We breathe out. We relax the shoulders. We widen the stance. And maybe we just start to move the hips. So we're just entering the body. Because sometimes if we go right into kind of choreographed movements, the body is just sort of like, the mind hasn't gotten there yet. So let the mind come in and settle down and start to choose, where am I entering from in the body? So choose a body part. Am I entering from my feet? Am I entering from my knees? Am I entering from my hips, my shoulders, my neck? Just choose any part. Whatever comes to you, choose that part and start to feel it. So that's the entry. That's the entry. So start to go into the body by entering through a body part. I'm choosing my feet because I can feel them. I can really feel them. I can move them. But you might feel something else. You might, maybe your arms, maybe your shoulders, maybe your head, maybe your neck, maybe your nose through the breath. So start to go in, go in, go in, go in. And start to feel where you're entering from. And start to notice, what is the momentum? What is the rhythm? What is the speed? Is it very slow? Is it like, okay, okay, I'm entering, right? Where is it? And what is it for you? Okay, so take a moment, again, eyes in, close your eyes so that you don't have to be doing exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of guiding and showing with my body the possibilities. Okay. And then allow yourself just to kind of take your temple, take it for a walk. So you haven't necessarily fully entered, but you're kind of like you're getting there. So I'm going to allow myself to move around and find that entry point in my body and start to allow that body part to kind of express itself. What does it want to express? What does it kind of need to sort of just like, okay, I'm entering. So just take a moment to create movement in your body where you're like, okay, I'm gonna enter from here. And again, eyes in. Trust that you kind of like, okay, I kind of know how to move. You're just moving, right? And if you need some guidance, maybe it's just like a shake. And so you start to allow yourself to kind of shake in. So I'm going from the feet, the ankles, and I'm going to start to go in and start to allow that movement to continue to trickle in, trickle in, trickle in, trickle in. So go in, go in, go in. Start to shake it around. So start to feel, ooh, where is it shaking a lot? Where is it like that movement is available where I can actually feel it and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll move from there. And maybe your movement doesn't look like mine. Maybe you're just like, well, okay, I don't know what Jamie's doing, but like, okay, I'll move. So you just let it in, okay? So you start to kind of just build a trust that, okay, this temple is sacred and it knows what it wants to do. So you just start to shake and you start to feel where the shaking kind of moves really well. Where does it? Is it in your knees? Is it in your hips? Is it in your shoulders? Is it where? Where in your arm? And you start to bring that shaking in to maybe another part that's kind of like stiff. So like my tailbone, it feels like, I haven't really noticed my tailbone. So I'm going to kind of bring the shaking from my feet into my tailbone. And I'm going to breathe in, breathe out. And again, there's no like right way or wrong way. You're just moving. Okay? And then take a moment just to close your eyes. Okay, and you're shaking. And you're moving and you're coming in. You're coming in, you're coming in, you're coming in, you're coming in. Okay, and just trust yourself. That's it. That's it. Okay, you got it. Breathing in, breathing out. And just take a moment to start to maybe intensify that shaking. So just kind of let it happen. Let it happen. Listen to the body. And it's less from the head and just more from the body, that it's just kind of like it's just moving. Breathing in. And then find that entry point again. And get back to that entry point and come in. Come in through that entry point. Come in through that entry point. Stay in. So the first kind of foundation of concentration is to concentrate. So concentrate on that entry point that you chose in your body and stay there. Move that. Move that. Go in, go in, go in. Let it come in, let it come in, let it come in. Breathe. Let it come in. And then just start to feel that through that kind of little bit of shaking, that ripple effect that is happening in your body now. Maybe this is like, it's just this kind of natural movement. Or maybe you're still kind of trying to figure it out. But just kind of let yourself go in, go in. And then take a moment to step past the threshold where you're deciding, okay, however I'm arriving, maybe I'm still stiff, maybe I'm still in my head, maybe I'm still emotional. However I'm arriving, I'm gonna step in. So just let yourself step in. And just take your kind of place here in your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your ankles, feel your knees, feel your shoulders, feel your head. And just let yourself, okay, I'm here. Breathe in. Exhale down. And just arrive, 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 arrive. Just let yourself know, okay, however I'm arriving, doesn't have to be any particular way. I'm here. So you kind of, it's like your first step into the body temple. You can even imagine maybe your skeleton and you're like, okay, you're stepping into this birth suit and you're here, however it's feeling right now. Okay? And we're going to go through some like repetitive movements, because what starts to happen as you allow yourself to move and breathe, it starts to kind of bring your mind a little bit more in rhythm with what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to go into kind of some more traditional yoga movements. Okay, so simply breathe your arms up and around. Exhale, you're going to shift your hips back, fold forward. Your toes are pointing forward. Inhale, we're going to lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, and again, stay in, stay in, stay in, stay in. Palms together, palms touch. Feel your feet on the floor. Breathe in, come in. Breathe out, stay on the floor, stay here. Inhale. Exhale. And feel your body moving. Palms together, point your fingers down. Feel your body moving. Breathe in, feel your arms moving. Exhale, shift back, feel your body stretching. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, arms up and around, palms together. Point the fingers down. Inhale. Arms up and around. Exhale, arms open. Okay, breathe in. And again, just trust. Exhale, forward. Take your time. Breathe your arms up and around. Feel your body. Palms together. Continue to enter. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Continue to feel. Exhale, fold forward. So it's a feeling versus thinking. If you're thinking a lot, every time you exhale, come back down to your feet. Feel your feet touching the floor. Breathe your arms up and around. Palms together. So instead of having your attention and your feeling kind of like focus forward on the screen, bring it down into your feet as you watch. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you fold. Breathe your arms up and around. Palms together, point your fingers down. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, so your toes are forward, your heels are in line with your hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Every time you bend your knees are forward. Palms together. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Palms together. Point the fingers down towards the ground. Bring the energy down. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale. So sometimes, well, if you feel like, oh, I'm trying to keep up, it's like your body and your mind are trying to like link together. Breathe in. And instead of trying to keep up, stay in the body, stay in your feet. Open the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up and around. That's it. Palms together, point your fingers down. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up and around. Palms together. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in and feel. Feel. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale. Let your mind come in. Exhale, forward. That's it. Inhale, lift. Exhale. So here we are. We're coming in and we're entering the body. And sometimes we kind of like step out. We go out the window. And then we come back in. We come back in. Listen to the sound of your breath as you come in. Exhale down. One more time. Breathe your arms up and around. Exhale forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Now we're going to touch the ground, and this helps you just have certainty. All of a sudden, okay, I have my hands on the ground. Roll your shoulders back here. Now you have a choice. You can stay right here, or you can extend your legs, and you can come into plank. Roll the shoulders away from the ears here. Your knees can be on the floor, or it could be lifted into like a plank position. And all of a sudden you start to feel the architecture and the structure of your body. You start to feel, where is it strong and where is it kind of weak? And you just allow yourself to be in your temple, to observe, to know, okay, I have a body temple. Breathe in, breathe out. So you have a recognition now, like, okay, I have a body temple. Yes, can't deny that. Drop the knees, point the toes, elbows close to the body. You're going to lower down. All the way down. Roll the shoulders back. Yeah? Inhale, lift from the base of the spine. Exhale and release all the way down. Tuck your toes underneath. Inhale, and as you exhale, shift your hips back. Roll the shoulders back. Extend your arms forward. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Come in, come in, come in. Come in. Enter, enter, enter. Relax the shoulders back. Extend the arms forward. Middle fingers are forward. So you start to really understand, okay, this temple has a structure. It has a certain way of moving. So let me just honor that, because when you start to honor that, it's, oh, okay, the body starts to like feel more stable and feels good. Inhale, lift the hips up and back. Now, it doesn't mean it's easy. It just means, okay, I'm utilizing my body temple. I'm living in it. I'm experiencing it. Breathe. And you start to feel the gift of just having a body. Because I can feel it. And it's giving me information. When you're ready, you're going to walk your feet forward. Your toes in line with your hips. Your heels in line with your hips. Try not to drop your ankles. Hands on your legs. You're going to inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, we're going to fold. And again, gather, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. What are you bringing into the temple now? Okay, so we understood how we arrived. What are we bringing in? Inhale. So what comes to your mind? So what comes to my mind is I'm bringing in more space, more light. So what is it for you? So you gather that. And you start to fill your temple. You fill it, you fill it. You're like, oh, okay, I could receive that. Breathe your arms up and around. Exhale, fold forward. And I can bow in reverence to it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. What is it that you're bringing into your temple? Bring it in. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, forward. Good. Inhale. Exhale, forward. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Bring it in, bring it in. Even if it's in your imagination, bring it in. Inhale. So I start to imagine all of that light coming into the body. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale. Inhale. Every time you inhale, you're bringing it in. So I want to hear what you guys are bringing in at the end of the class and what you arrived with. Exhale, open your arms. Hands on your legs. Inhale, lift. Hands down your legs. Exhale, fold. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Inhale, there's no rush. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Okay, we're going to go down one more time. So this time, breathe your arms up and around. Exhale, we're going to go forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And again, you start to anchor that thing. You anchor it into the earth. It's like, okay, I'm going to bring down that light. I'm going to bring down that space. I'm going to bring down that joy, whatever it is. And I'm going to start to root it. I'm going to root it down. I'm going to anchor into it. So just start to let yourself feel. Okay, sometimes we can go through these movements, but we're not actually in the temple. We're somewhere else. We're in an idea. So start to anchor what it is you're bringing down here on earth. So the temple is this container for the spirit to move through. So just let it go down. Anchor into it. And again, extend your legs. Your knees can be on the floor. So you're in like a plank position. Roll your shoulders back. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Okay. And you start to build your structure, your physical structure in that frequency. You start to, okay, I'm gonna let this physical structure get infused with this, what I'm bringing in. I'm gonna let it infuse. I'm gonna charge it. I'm gonna feel the fire. I'm gonna feel the earth in my body. I'm gonna start to let my body charge with this, what I'm bringing in. And I'm gonna bring it down to earth. You drop your knees, and when you're ready, shift your hips back and just relax here for a second. Inhale, we're gonna go forward. Exhale and back. Inhale, forward. Exhale and back. So you start to build that fire. So you start to enliven your body temple. Breathe. Exhale. Good. And you're starting to like stoke the fire of what it is you're conjuring in your temple. And you're like, ooh, you're just like, you're kind of like stoking that fire. And you might go faster or you might go slower than I am. So you stoke the fire in the way that you know is going to allow your flame to ignite without over burning yourself. But, you know, without just like letting the fire go out. Okay, so inhale now. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. At your own rhythm. So you ignite your spirit. Just reminding your body, this is where it lives. This is where joy can live. This is where strength can live. This is where clarity can live. And you bring it in. And you commit. Commit. Commit to what you chose. That's it. 30 more seconds at your own rhythm, at your own place. Ignite your fire. That's it. Yes. 10 more seconds. Take a deep breath in and release out. At your own pace. Yes. One more time. Yes, breathe and feel. So we're going to curl the spine now, and we're going to let the hands come underneath the shoulders. Tuck your tailbone underneath. The elbows can bend as you round. And then you're going to tilt the pelvis forward. Relax the belly. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the head. Exhale and round. Tilt the pelvis forward. Relax your belly. Inhale, lift. And round. Continue here, breathing in and feel that undulation of your spine. As you tuck your tailbone, you round your lower back, you round your middle back, and you round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then you continue here to just let the movement of that energy that you have created just to kind of now trickle into the body. So imagine you're kind of like letting the water kind of move within your body. Round, tuck the tailbone underneath, around. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Good. And one more time, round. Come back towards the center here. Tuck your toes underneath, shift your hips back, extend your arms straight, roll the shoulders back, breathe in. Inhale, we're going to lift the hips up and shift your hips back. Bend your knee, step forward, step forward. Toes are pointing forward, heels in line with the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale and release. Okay, so now we talked about a couple of elements here, the earth, we talked about fire, and we're just going to allow ourselves to work with a little bit of the water in our body. So first start with your ankles. So imagine your feet and your toes are kind of like lifting up, and your ankles are lifting up, and your knees are lifting up. And you're starting to just find that circular kind of movement in your body. First, the feet. Good. Then the knees. Then the hips. Circular movements, tailbone. Circular movements, whatever that means for you, okay? So you don't have to look like me. Okay, hips, now the spine. So the spine can undulate to the side. It can go front and back. Start with the tailbone, then the head. Or then it can kind of like circulate. So circular movements. Breathe in, breathe out. Circular movements. Okay, and then here, this is your, what do you call this? Collarbones. Okay. So I want you to imagine that there are also circular movements here, circular movement. And then start to feel how that circular movement here translates into your shoulder blades, your shoulders, your arm bones, your elbows, your neck, your head. And then you kind of continue that circular movement. You kind of let it go up and down the body. So you can come back to the ankles. You can come back to the knees. You can come back to the pelvis. You can come back to the spine, the shoulders, the arms, and the neck. And you just again, here, come back in and just trust. Okay, what is circular movement for me? What is water for me today? Maybe it's just this like calm little ocean. Maybe it's kind of like this big kind of tidal wave. And you can start to pick up your feet if that feels like your water kind of is starting to move your feet, move your legs, move your knees, and again, circular motion. Move your spine as it rounds to the back, or to the side, or forward. Okay, so whatever that is for you, let yourself move in that circular motion. And maybe you might want to look at the screen just to see, oh, okay, what kind of like circular motions can I maybe integrate that I'm not necessarily exploring right now, right? Oh, look how the knees are moving. Look how the hips are moving. Look how the shoulders are moving, the neck. Good. And then we move from the feet and we let that kind of motion trickle up. Ankles, knees, hips. So here's where we color outside of the lines, okay? So sometimes it can be very structured, and sometimes we just have to allow ourselves to move, because the body temple it likes variety. It wants variety. It likes functional movement, but it also kind of likes, this kind of like movement that you already know. Okay? You know circular movement. You know water. Right? And even though you think you don't know it, you naturally, instinctively know it. So whatever that is for you today, you just let that go. So let's just let it go for a second. And I can even get out of the screen so you can kind of just do your own thing. And then you just let yourself kind of be taken with the water, with the circular movement. Let yourself be taken. Okay, so you start to amplify your water and your circular movement, maybe to like a 3. Go. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to like, okay, I don't know really what she's talking about, but like I'll just let my body kind of do its thing. I'll let the body temple what I deem holy, what I revere. Find that intelligent force that is moving inside of me. We all have water inside of us. So you have it. You have it inside of you. Nobody has to tell you how to move your water. So amplify it to a 5. Go. Amplify it to a 5. That's it. 6. And my 6 and your 6 could look very different. Yours could be maybe softer today. Or it can be like a raging again. Tidal wave. So whatever that is for you, own it, do it. 7. That's it. 8. 9. 10. So here it's not a very kind of sustainable place, but it's where we kind of work with our edge, and we want to stay with our feet. Soften in the ankle, stay in that fluidity. But again, you trust that internal movement, that internal water that's just moving your body around. And you just let yourself explore. Because you can always come back. Okay, and you can adjust. You can go back to a 5 if you want. Whatever 5 means for you today, it will be different for everybody. Different days, different moments. Different cycles in your life and in your body. Your menstrual cycle, your woman's cycle, your adult cycle, whatever that is, wherever you are. And you can come back to a 3 if you want. To a 2. Whatever that is for you. To a 1. And then back to a 0, which doesn't necessarily mean you stop moving, but it's like, okay, what's this kind of natural movement now? So I want you now to find your natural movement. Find your natural movement. What that movement that you created. It's not a movement that you're even trying. It's just like, okay, this kind of when I start to explore my water in all these different directions, what's happening now in the body? What's that kind of natural tendency? What's a natural movement that I've created that is already there, right? That natural movement of the water that is moving my body instead of me moving the body. What is that? What is that? And sometimes it could just be like, just like this, you know? Whatever that is for you. What is it? What is your water that it's neutral, where you're just letting it happen. And so when we enter the body temple, it's like, we just enter in this magical place and we transport ourselves inside. And that inside just starts to kind of reveal itself outside, just by feeling. So you come back, and if you're like, ooh, that was, ooh, then you come back to your feet. You're still here. You've already arrived. But you can come back to that place where, okay, how did I enter? What part of my body did I enter? And let me come back there. Let me come back. Let me come back. And now start to just, in all of your kind of places, your feet, the bottom of your feet, your uterus, your fingertips, everywhere you kind of feel like you can have that place of entry where you chose, what do I want to bring into the body today? So for me, it was that light. So what does light feel like? What does light feel like? So you can use that quality of the water to feel whatever joy. Sometimes you can come back to the heat, to the fire. Maybe you need to just get a little bit more grounded. You can come back onto the earth. But I just want you to move your body in a way that just feels like that word that you are bringing, that quality. What does that feel like? Right? And maybe if it's like, just let it kind of happen in one place in your body. Right? If I am just like conjuring in a certain feeling, can I just bring it in? Can I bring it in? Like that chosen part. I'm talking about, I've been doing it in the feet, but maybe for you it's your hips, and you start to like, okay, what is light, or what is joy, or whatever it is, strength, clarity. What does that feel like? And just move it. Move with it. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just give it a bit of breath. Just like start to allow yourself to receive what it is you brought in. Sometimes in our mind, in our head, we think we didn't receive it, but we actually did. And that's the thing about the body temple and the sacredness. It just kind of, it knows what to do. So, I don't know, like my mind doesn't know what light, but my body does. You kind of, oh, yeah, okay. And you just kind of let that pick up. So we're just going to go into a little bit of the wind and a little bit of the air, where we just start to give it space. So you start to expand your body into that space. So you could round your back. You can round it to the side. You can allow it to move forward. You can pick up the legs. And you can just let that, what it is you're bringing in, take you. Just let it take you. So if I were to let light just take me, so let it take you. Go ahead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whatever it means for you, for that energy to just take over your body with a sense of expansion, with a sense of lightness, with like, you're almost kind of like watching your body move from above. And it has that kind of wind, like air quality. We're just kind of giving it kind of space. You're like, okay. Well, this is what light is kind of like doing in my body temple. Okay, cool. So you start to kind of get out of the thinking mind, and you just let the sacred temple do its work. You don't always have to think your way out of anything. Sometimes, and all the time, your body can transmute. So go into that air and let it, like a parachute, take you. You just relax into the movement. Relax into the movement. expand into it, open to it, be it. And there's no right or wrong of how to be whatever it is you're looking for. Your body knows. So just take one more kind of flight around to enjoy. You're opening your wingspan. And then we come back to how we arrived, how we entered. But all of a sudden, we weren't where we were before. So sometimes you move 2 degrees into the body temple, and sometimes you come into the magical experience of its intelligence. So you come back to your feet, come back to a sway, and just trust whatever needed to happen today happened. That is what it means to enter the body temple, is that you don't necessarily exactly know how you're going to be inspired, but you know you've entered. And you know you've entered with reverence, with whatever is showing up, whatever is emerging. So you come back down, and again you anchor what it is you're bringing in. You start to maybe feel the body temple and look at it like from a, different point of view, because now you are in a different point of view. Whenever you change the internal landscape, your external landscape shifts. Take a breath in, breath out. Breathe in, arms up and around. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, palms on the ground again. Find that certainty, that intimacy with Mother Earth. And just come into a seated position. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And take a moment to now kind of wrap your petals of your body temple. So you can imagine your body temple just like covered in gold. And everything that we've experienced internally is still there. Still kind of like doing its little magic. So today, from the behind of your eyes, now that you've entered the sacred body temple, just start to see from that light behind your eyes. And just start to see, if I were to see from that place of joy, from that place of light, what would it feel like? What would the experience feel like? And then you let it emanate from the inside. It's still there. You don't necessarily give it and leak it out, but you just like, if I were to see the outside external world from a place of light or magic or whatever it is, clarity, what would it feel like and look like? So you come from that innocence. You come from that, like, you've gone into prayer. You've gone into prayer through the body. you prayed with what it is you're bringing in. You utilize a container of your body as a way of allowing, and we talked about this, allowing spirit to enter. Spirit, it wants a container to express itself here in the 3D world. And as much as watching this or listening to this may inspire you, entering literally the body temple is then it becomes an infused and integrated and embodied experience, an actual experience. So it just can't come in through the mind. We have to allow ourselves again and again and again to re-enter the body temple. And the more we enter the body temple and we shift our experience inside, then our outside world becomes that internal reality. Your internal reality becomes your external reality. And again, we all know this in theory, but it's very hard to see magic and feel magic if you are not actually letting it in into your temple. So I hope this was helpful, and let me know, how did you arrive? And what was the experience as you moved through the different kind of parts, experiences, maybe the fire, maybe the water, maybe the grounding. And what are you letting in? Okay, what did you let in? And then even like as you let it in, how did it shift your external landscape? And so in our, in this practice as spiritual entrepreneurs, what I always tell people is that we have to take care of the spiritual house first. And then we can take that now freed up energy, right? Because sometimes it gets into overwhelm, it gets into not enoughness, it gets into all of that stuff. And now we can take it and we start to put it into action into the world. What do we want to see? So my question to you is, in your life and in your business, what is one action that's going to bring you a little bit closer to where you want to go in your business? Is it calling that client? Is it kind of writing down the structure of your program? Is it, just getting really crystal clear, on what it is you want your business to look like? And of course, in our program, I really help you step by step figure out what's the next obvious action. And before that, when we're in the spiritual house, we get really crystal clear on what we want, because that's where we kind of want to move from. And when we go into the spiritual house, what happens is we start to operate from our spirit and from our soul. So then the answers that come from that place are coming from that place, and it's not coming from that survival, like, oh my God, I just need to make money and have more clients. Like, that's might be true, but it is not a clear lens of really what it is you want and need to align with your soul. Because all spiritual entrepreneurs, what differentiates us is we're not just in it to make the money. That's a beautiful byproduct and creates abundance in our life. But we want to make sure, is it really aligned with my truth? And that's what the doorway that I offer you guys is. How can we align with our truth? And the very first thing we do, if you get on a discovery call with me, is we look at what is holding you back. And of course, it's something unconscious. It's a deep-rooted fear. Because we kind of know what to do, but it gets overwhelming, or we get confused, or we doubt ourselves, or we all of this stuff, and all of that stuff, all of that, when you're spinning around in the head, comes from a core wound. So that's the very first thing we do, is what has been coded into the body and the mind and the energy to sort of like, bring you to this place where you kind of know where you want to go, but then you get confused and then you spin around and you go on more healing journeys and then you try to kind of know where you want to go, but then I don't really know how to make money. I don't know how to get clients. I don't know marketing. And it's like we spin and spin and spin. And then we keep on thinking, oh, let me just go heal. And then that will bring me to my next obvious business action. And that's where I bridge the gap for you guys. It's like, okay, yeah, now that we've done the spiritual house, let's practice, instead of putting it back into creation, back into ideas, back into healing. Where are we going? And what is our North Star? What is our clarity? And can we commit to that? Because, if you build a house, your business house, you got to build it. You can't just like take one brick and put it in like, okay, it's not working anymore. I tried this one marketing thing and it's like, and I tried asking for money and then, it's like we're always going to come back to clarity from the spiritual house, but then continue to bit by bit by bit by bit, just like, okay, what's the next obvious action? Because I know there's many, many strategies, but as a sensitive, we can get really overwhelmed with all that. So as your coach, I would just give you the next obvious action to what's going to create, the domino effect for the cash flow to come in, for the clarity in your marketing to come in, for the clarity of who you're actually serving and what you're actually doing on this planet. So if that sounds and if that resonates with you, then DM me and just let me know, Jamie, I'm ready for a breakthrough yoga coaching call. And we're going to go into that, like, what I call the 3-level clearing, through the body, through the mind, through the energy. Like, where is it? Because it's at some place. And then the thing is, it's like, I know we all can do our own healing journey, but I have my own coaches to show me where my unconscious wounds are. Because as my teacher always says, we don't heal alone. So that we act as mirrors. And so that's it. So DM me. Let me know if you want a breakthrough yoga coaching call, and I'm ready. And my Calendly link is also in the comments. And I'll see you next week for a training. So this was a very special day where I decided to do a physical practice. And then I also do, actual trainings where we talk from the spiritual house to the business house on different strategies and different points of view to help you along your journey. So that's every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there. DM me if you want a breakthrough yoga coaching call, or see Katie will put a link in the my Calendly link in the comments. So see you next week. Thanks, guys, for your practice. Bye.